So y'all remember Katherine Heigl's daughter, Neely, right? Well, that kid just turned 15, and let's just say she's got everyone talking. From her stunning globe to her rare public appearances, people can't get enough of this young queen. And considering how low-key Katherine has always been about her family life, fans are amazed to see just how much Neely has grown.
It doesn't matter how they come into your life. The moment they put that child in your arms, whether you've just birthed it or whether they've just arrived from Korea, they're yours. And that love, that unconditional love, just sweeps over everything. Nancy Lee is 8 years old, and she is my very, very smart, very compassionate, very big-hearted little gal. She's totally mommy's little helper and loves being the big sister.
15 years ago, a little girl in South Korea was waiting for a family to call her own. After spending her first few months in care, she was placed in the Namsan Children's Home, where she spent her earliest days surrounded by nurses and caregivers instead of parents. What no one could have predicted was that her life was about to change forever, in a way that would capture hearts all around the world. That little girl would one day become Neely Kelly, the beloved daughter of Hollywood actress Katherine Heigl and her husband, singer-songwriter Josh Kelly. At the time, Katherine Heigl was one of the biggest names in television. Her role as Dr. Izzy Stevens on Grey's Anatomy had made her a household name, earning her critical acclaim and a Golden Globe Award. She was the face of both TV and film, known for hits like 27 Dresses and Knocked Up. While Josh was building his own successful music career, the two met in 2005 when Katherine starred as his love interest in the music video for his song Only You. Sparks flew instantly. Josh later joked that he remembered the exact date they met because the next day, he went out and bought a house in Nashville just to be closer to her. Within a year, they were engaged, and by December 2007, they married in a winter ceremony in Park City, Utah, surrounded by family and close friends. From the very start, Katherine and Josh knew they wanted to grow their family through adoption. For Katherine, it wasn't just an idea, it was a lifelong promise to herself. Her sister Meg had been adopted from South Korea long before Katherine was born, and growing up in a blended family shaped her entire understanding of what love and connection mean. She once said, "I wanted my own family to resemble the one I came from, so I always knew I wanted to adopt from Korea." In 2009, that dream came true. After months of interviews, paperwork, and waiting, Katherine and Josh got the call that would change everything. They had been matched with a baby girl named Neely, born just one day before Katherine's birthday. The agency explained that Neely had faced early health challenges and had undergone surgery to correct a congenital heart condition. But none of that stopped the couple for even a second. Katherine later recalled that when they got the call, she was on set in Atlanta filming with Ashton Kutcher, and Josh was right there beside her. They listened on speakerphone as the agency described the baby girl. By the end of the conversation, both of them were in tears. Katherine simply said, "We want her," in a twist of fate. Josh's own father happened to be a heart surgeon, and he reviewed Neely's medical records for them. He reassured the couple that her condition had been corrected and she was healthy. From that moment, everything fell into place. It felt like fate had chosen them for each other. When Neely finally arrived in the United States, Katherine and Josh were overjoyed. But adjusting to life as new parents came with challenges. Katherine was still filming Grey's Anatomy and juggling long days on set. And she admitted later that it wasn't easy finding the right balance. The transition into motherhood was emotional and humbling. She adored her daughter, but struggled to feel that instant connection she had imagined. Meanwhile, Josh and Neely bonded effortlessly. Katherine even laughed about how she called him Disneyland Dad because he was always down on the floor playing and making her laugh, while she handled the practical, structured side of parenting. There were moments of doubt, frustration, and guilt. Katherine confessed that she sometimes worried Neely didn't see her as the fun parent, and that broke her heart. But instead of giving up, she found small, consistent ways to connect through bedtime cuddles, soft lullabies, and their special ritual with 3 tiny blankets. One tucked around Neely, one beside her cheek, and one in her little hands. Night after night, those moments built the foundation of a bond that would grow unshakable over time. Then, in 2012, everything changed with one simple moment. During a taping of The View, Neely, still just a toddler, surprised everyone by running across the stage and throwing her arms around her mom. The audience melted, and so did Katherine. She later said that moment was when she truly knew their connection was solid. All the fear, all the doubt, it disappeared in an instant. That hug was everything. As the years passed, Katherine's priorities shifted completely. she took a step back from the Hollywood spotlight to focus on family life in Utah, where she and Josh could give their children a quieter, more grounded upbringing. They later welcomed 2 more children, but Heigl remained the heart of the family, curious, creative, and full of personality. Now, Heigl is 15 years old, and her transformation has fans everywhere talking. She's tall, graceful, and confident, with the same calm presence and radiant smile as her mom. Even though Katherine keeps her family life mostly private, every rare glimpse fans get, whether it's a holiday photo or a short family clip, gets flooded with comments about how much Heigl has grown and how she carries herself with such maturity. Katherine has said many times that motherhood changed her in ways fame never could. It taught her patience, vulnerability, and unconditional love. She once shared that being Heigl's mom helped her slow down, appreciate small moments, and see the world through a completely different lens. Today, Heigl continues to grow up away from the constant glare of fame, focusing on school, hobbies, and her close-knit family. For Katherine and Josh, watching her evolve into such a thoughtful young woman is their greatest joy. Her story, from a tiny baby in Korea to a bright, thriving teen surrounded by love, is a reminder that family isn't about biology, it's about heart.
Then you left the show in 2010, but recently you said that you would be open to going back.
Oh yeah, I mean, I always felt like if you guys, if they want me to come back and sort of wrap up that storyline, And I think that, for me, it's sort of, I want them to know that I'm I'm down with it if they want me to, but I completely understand if it doesn't necessarily work into.
Are you sorry you left?
They've got a lot of storylines going on there.
Are you sorry you left?
Oh yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you miss it. I miss it. I miss my friends. It was a great work environment in that we all got along really well, and it becomes a family. I spent 6 years with these people every day for,
But if they
we
called
grew
you,
up
come
in a
back.
way. Oh yeah.
Josh also poured his heart into music, writing a song for Heigl titled Nolly Moon, as a way to express his love for their little girl through all the ups and downs. For Katherine, Heigl became her greatest joy. She once said, "This girl made me a mother. She gave my life purpose, meaning, and direction. The love I have for her is boundless." But the story doesn't end there. In 2012, Katherine and Josh decided to grow their family once again, adopting their second daughter, Adelaide, from Louisiana. Interestingly, this wasn't their original plan. They had wanted to adopt internationally again, but South Korea had tightened its process, and China's waitlist was years long. So they shifted gears and chose to adopt domestically instead. Then, 5 years later, something unexpected happened. Katherine got pregnant at 39. She welcomed their first biological child, a son named Joshua, but his arrival came with challenges. Over a month before his due date, baby Joshua was in a breech position, forcing doctors to schedule a C-section. And when he was born, there was a terrifying moment. He wasn't breathing. Doctors had to act fast, giving him oxygen until his lungs started working properly. For Katherine, it was a completely new experience. With Adelaide, they had been there from birth. With Heigl, they adopted her at 9 months old, but this was their first time going through an entire pregnancy and birth journey. Even with all the joy, it wasn't easy. The demands of motherhood hit hard, balancing her acting career, sleepless nights, and 3 young children left her feeling drained and frustrated at times, especially when she missed out on her baby's milestones. Motherhood, adoption, fame, it was a lot. But through it all, Katherine and Josh built a loving, grounded family. Heigl's journey from an orphanage in Korea to growing up surrounded by love in Hollywood is nothing short of inspiring. Katherine has opened up about her personal struggles to battling anxiety attacks and back pain brought on by stress. "People will tell you how hard it is," she admitted in an interview with Parents Magazine, "but you have no idea until you experience it." At one point, she and Josh thought about adopting or fostering another child. But after the pandemic hit, Katherine's perspective shifted. "I've completely changed my mind," she said. "I'm very content with my 3." After years in Los Angeles, the couple made another big move to a ranch in Utah. They wanted peace, privacy, and a slower pace of life for their kids. Their home is now filled with love and animals. 8 dogs, 3 cats, chickens, goats, and horses. Their children love spending time outdoors, skipping rocks by the river, and caring for the animals. Lee. Now the oldest of the 3 has grown into a bright, witty young woman. Katherine once described her as so smart, so funny, my best buddy, and the coolest little person I've ever met, despite being born into the spotlight. Katherine and Josh worked hard to give her a normal, grounded upbringing. They shielded her from Hollywood pressure, focusing on letting her discover who she is at her own pace. Of course, Heigl has made rare public appearances over the years, like when she walked the red carpet with her mom at the Nut Job premiere back in 2014, when she was just 5. 8 years later, in 2022, she was spotted again cheering for Katherine from the audience of a talk show appearance. Still, Katherine is intentional about keeping her daughter's life private. In a 2023 interview, she revealed that Heigl is one of only 2 kids in her grade who doesn't have a phone, a deliberate choice to protect her from social media's pressures and keep her focused on real life. And now, at 15, Heigl has the world's attention again, not for fame or headlines, but because of her poise, maturity, and that undeniable glow that proves she's growing into her own.
Your girls that?
Yes.
And it's interesting because I think it's oddly easier for their generation, which my 11-year-old is all, can I say this? Vinegar?
Yes, you can.
She is spicy.
Yeah.
And my almost 15-year-old, which is just blowing my mind, my freshman in high school.
Wait, how
my
did
cheerleader.
that happen?
I don't know. I don't know how it happened. And everyone says, oh, it goes so.
Education has always been one of the strongest foundations in the Heigl household. From the very beginning, Katherine and Josh made it clear that learning would be at the center of their children's lives, not just in the classroom, but in every experience. They've always believed that education is more than books and grades. It's about curiosity, discipline, empathy, and finding purpose. For Nick, that meant growing up in a home where every question was encouraged, every interest supported, and every achievement celebrated. Katherine often talks about how she wanted her kids to feel free to explore anything that excited them, whether it was art, sports, science, or music. Josh, being a musician himself, would spend hours introducing Heigl to different instruments and sounds, while Katherine helped her explore creative writing, painting, and reading together. They nurtured a home filled with imagination and open-minded learning. But their lessons didn't stop with academics. Katherine and Josh also made sure their daughter understood the values that truly matter: kindness, gratitude, resilience, and compassion. The family often participates in charity projects and community service, volunteering at shelters and animal rescues. These experiences taught Heigl from a young age that privilege means little without purpose and that giving back is one of life's greatest joys. Fast forward to today, Heigl is 15 years old and she's growing up fast. The once teeny baby from South Korea is now a confident, intelligent teenager with big dreams and a strong sense of identity. She lives with her family in a breathtaking $4 million ranch-style home, tucked away in the mountains of Utah. The property is more than just a house. It's a sanctuary, surrounded by pine trees and endless sky. The Heigl Kelly Ranch includes a greenhouse, a stone garden, and warm fireplaces that make the space feel cozy and peaceful. It's a life far from the flashing lights of Hollywood, exactly what Katherine wanted for her children. Out there in the quiet beauty of Utah, the family leads a slower, more grounded lifestyle. Days often start early. With the kids helping care for the animals, the Heigls have 8 dogs, several cats, goats, horses, and chickens. Heigl loves helping out, especially with the horses. And the family spends afternoons hiking by the river, skipping rocks, or roasting marshmallows under the stars. It's a kind of normal that's rare for celebrity kids, and that's exactly why Katherine chose it. Still, being a teenager today isn't simple. Katherine has spoken openly about the challenges of raising kids in the age of social media. She's been careful about how much exposure her children get online, saying she wants to protect them from the pressures that come with fame and comparison. In fact, Heigl is one of only 2 kids in her grade who doesn't have her own phone, a decision Katherine stands by proudly. Instead, she encourages real-world connections and experiences. But, of course, like any modern teen, Heigl sometimes finds her way onto her mom's iPad to record the occasional fun TikTok video, just being a normal kid. Even if her mom is a Hollywood star, beyond all that, Katherine's parenting philosophy centers on raising strong, independent young women. She's been vocal about rejecting the idea that girls should always be nice or pleasing. Instead, she teaches her daughters to speak their minds, set boundaries, and understand that their worth comes from who they are, not from how others see them. She wants them to grow up confident enough to make mistakes, brave enough to take up space, and kind enough to lift others up along the way. As Heigl steps further into her teenage years, her transformation has been remarkable. She's intelligent, funny, and full of personality. People who meet her describe her as witty, articulate, and grounded, a reflection of her parents' effort to raise her with both love and structure. Despite being born into the public eye, Heigl has been given something much more valuable than fame, privacy, and peace. But Katherine also recognizes that raising a multiracial family in America comes with unique challenges. She's spoken about her awareness of her own privilege and the need to prepare her daughters to face the realities of race and identity. She's had honest, age-appropriate conversations with them about racism, belonging, and pride in their heritage. Katherine has even taken Heigl back to South Korea multiple times to help her connect with her roots, learning about the language, traditions, and culture of the country where she was born. Those experiences have been deeply emotional for both mother and daughter, strengthening their bond in a way words can barely describe. Adoption has always been a core part of their family story, something they celebrate, not hide. On Heig's 13th birthday, Katherine shared one of the most touching moments on Instagram, the very first photo she ever saw of her daughter during the adoption process. Alongside it, she wrote how that image changed her life forever, reminding her how love can reach across oceans and erase any distance between two hearts meant to meet. And while Heigl continues to grow, Katherine has found peace in motherhood. She's talked about how her family feels complete now that after years of juggling fame, anxiety, and the pressures of Hollywood, what matters most to her is right there at home. The laughter, the chaos, the love, it's everything she ever wanted. So yes, the little girl once left alone in a hospital in Seoul is now a thriving young woman, surrounded by love, laughter, and endless possibility. Her story is a reminder that family isn't defined by blood. It's built through choice, commitment, and unconditional love. And as Heigl steps into her future, one thing is certain. The world may remember Katherine Heigl as an actress, but her greatest role will always be mom. What do you think about Katherine Heigl's journey as a mother and the way she's raising her kids away from Hollywood's spotlight? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.